it said 0.00 out of 100. And she had a long comment basically saying that I had plagiarized the paper. Hey guys, happy Sunday. Today's Sunday. So I'm going to be sharing with you all today. I'm going to just get straight into it. Basically, something that happened in 2019 that a lot of people don't know about. Majority of people don't know about. And I just really felt led to share this story. It's this story and another story and probably some other stories. But this one specifically being that it's relevant to one of my recent accomplishments, which was graduating with my master's degree in public administration. And I think it's important that you share your, not only your accomplishments, but, share the process that it took to get to where you are. If you feel led to it, you never know who it can impact. You never know who can learn something from it. And it's like, okay, this comb is not going to be featured in the video. I'm gonna put it down. I just want to share something that happened with me in 2019 and really almost jeopardized me finishing my degree and things like that. Okay, so today, like I said, will be a story time. And 2019, y'all, was a trying year. That's the word I'm gonna use, trying year. There were, of course, a lot of good things to happen, but there were also a lot of faith building things that happened in that year. One, which I'm going to share today. So as I mentioned, I graduated with my master's degree July 24th of this year, 2021. Yay me. But August 2019, I began my program. And I was enrolled in, give you all a backstory so that you're not lost. I was enrolled in three classes. I was enrolled in 2 classes. It was my first semester in graduate school. Prior to that, I had taken a year off from after undergrad. So 2018, I graduated undergrad. May of 2018, I took from May 2018 until August 2019. I took a year and a few months off, just to really see if I wanted to go back to school and really see what it is that I wanted to do with my life, and decided that, I want to go back to school and pursue my master's degree. So I did that. So going back 2019 for August fall semester, I was in a class and it was a research class. Again, I was in 2 classes. So it was a research class I was in and it was a theory class I was in. In the theory class, I was doing well, but the research class, it had to deal with numbers. So ever since I was like 9, 8, 4th grade, 3rd grade, whatever age you are in those grades, I just didn't like numbers. Like I did the work, I would pass the classes, I just didn't like it. So research methods, if you're familiar, if you're not familiar, it's with numbers, majority of it. Majority of it is numbers and statistics and things like that. And I just wasn't, I guess I'm not gonna make any excuses, but I really think it was challenging that year because just things were going on with it. Mostly I can say it was getting back into the habit of studying and creating a structure as far as, finishing homework. I was working full time. I wasn't doing that in undergrad. I was working part-time and I was really focused on finishing school. So this was a bit of a challenge. It's, giving so much attention to work as well as school and my social life and things like that. It was a lot. I also made a video on this, so go check it out. Just balancing everything. But anywho, it was towards the end of the semester and we had to write a research paper. And the research paper, basically we had to create a research, like the paper was basically like a research proposal. We had to pick a topic and find a topic, and then we had to find samples and all that good stuff. It was a while ago, I'm trying to remember. So basically we had to create our own research paper. So I went through the instructions, and long story short, I guess I didn't understand the concept how I did. I kind of read it, and then I was like, okay, this is what I think I should do. But I didn't reach out to my instructor for further instructions. I just kind of went with, you know, the instructions and what I assumed I should do, which wasn't completely off from what was instructed in the instructions. So I never forget, it was Thanksgiving. It was the week before Thanksgiving or the week of Thanksgiving. I don't remember. But this paper had been stressing me out, and I was just like, you know what, like, this is it. I'm giving it. This is it. Like, I'm gonna just submit this paper. I believe that I followed, you know, everything, the page limit. I did my APA citations. I structured the paper, the outline, all that good stuff. So I think I'm going to do well. So I submitted it. I wasn't 100% confident, but I wasn't like, yeah, I just failed that paper. I had a little confidence in it. So never forget, I was driving on my way to work. Never will forget. And I was kept checking the portal. So I was checking Coursera on the way to work. I'm not even going to say what I was doing while I was checking it, because y'all going to be like, that is dangerous. But on the way to work, and it said 0.00 out of 100. And she had a long comment basically saying that I had plagiarized the paper, and that she's going to tell the director of the program, and that I have failed this paper. And she didn't say I had failed the class, but the paper was such a large percentage of the overall grade in the class. If you fail the paper, it's kind of hard that you pass the class. So I was just like I'm driving and just trying to process everything, and I'm like, wait, what? Like, I'm driving. Okay, so y'all know what I'm doing. I'm driving and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, so I never forget, I got to work, and it was just a lot going on. Okay, so we're gonna speed it up. Ended up writing the director. So I had to go through this process. Let me backtrack a little bit. I had to go through this process with my school, basically appeal the decision and tell her, like, I did not plagiarize. We were going back and forth in email. Like, I was telling her, these are all my citations. Like, you can check it out. She was saying that I used other people's research. It was just a lot going on. And I was like, this is crazy, man. This is madness. And I never forget, it was about to be Christmas break. And I wrote my director, and this is how the enemy, like, tries to get you. I wrote my director, and I was just like, yeah, I don't think I'm going to come back next semester, spring semester. I said, I don't think I'm going to come back. I just, like, I just don't think this is for me anymore. Y'all, I had set my mom and my sister down in this kitchen in here. And it took a lot, but I was just like, y'all, I don't think this is for me. Like, I hadn't gone into the details about what happened. But I was like, I don't think this program is for me. I think, like, I'm gonna just sit it out, and, you know, if it's for me, then I'll come back. Like, I was just making up things to try to make myself feel good. And at some point I had to say, Kimberly, you have to hold yourself accountable, and you have to, like, pray about it. You can't just try to suppress it with your own reason and your own excuses. Although I can see where the instructor was coming from. I should have done things differently, and I should have reached out for further instruction as to what I was doing, and I definitely had a part in it, of course. But I also feel like I was receiving certain I don't know how to describe it. I'm gonna just say certain vibes, for the lack of a better term, certain vibes from the instructor. So yeah, I went through this process, and, like, I was talking to I guess he was like student success, I don't know, and he was like, yeah, you know, basically we had a phone call. He was like, if this happened again, you can be put out the program, you can be put out the school. I need you to do this training, I need you to write a paper. It was just a lot I had to do, and, like, it was a long process. And I never forget, when I wrote my director was so, like, understanding and so, like, positive. Like, I was shocked because he was CC'd on all them emails. He was, as well as the chair or the dean, his boss. So I'm like, oh my gosh, she's gonna obviously take her side. Like, but he was so open. Like, he was like, well, I hope you don't leave the program. You can just retake the course. Like, he was so understanding, and that really helped me because I was set on leaving. Like, I was set on leaving. So spring semester come back. At this point, I'm on academic probation. And I received financial aid for the spring semester. Okay, so spring semester I finished with 2 A's. Oh yeah, and I got a B in that other class that I was in as well. And I failed this class. I got an F in it, obviously. So spring semester did well. Summer semester, I was at the end of, because you know you have to pay summer semester like before you start the classes. So before the semester was going to end, I saw that I had a balance. So I was like, you know, is it gonna, my financial aid is gonna kick in? Like, it just wasn't, like, losing financial aid was not on my mind. Like, I knew what had happened. I knew all these things had happened. I was on academic probation, but losing financial aid just slipped my mind. So yeah, losing financial aid never crossed my mind. So I never forget, like, I don't remember exactly how it went. I just remember like calling my school and they were like, yeah, you have a balance of 20, I never forget, it was 2222, I think 2222 or something like that. So I was like, what? Like, you know, my financial aid, and they basically told me that you lost your financial aid due to being on academic probation and all these things. So I'm like I'm laughing. I think I was laughing because I just see like what's going on, and I'm like, wow, like I'm really being attacked right now, like seriously. So what happened? So I had to make a half a payment, like a partial payment. So I think I did like, it was $800 or something. It was something I had to pay. Y'all, I did not have the money. Oh wait, did I have the money? I did have the money for the partial payment. How did I do it? I paid, I'm trying to remember. I think I paid a part, like $800. I took it out of my savings. Mind you, I had just started like saving, really. Like, I was not good at saving. I was okay with my savings, but I wasn't like where I am now, I can say. Like, and it's so crazy how God will prepare you like weeks, months, years even in advance, and you don't even understand the logic behind it. You just like, okay, all of a sudden I'm doing this like a lot, and I'm noticing I'm doing this more, and I'm being more responsible in this area, not understanding that it's all playing a part in a bigger plan. So I took that out of my savings. I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to just, you know, this is for school, this is something important, I'll put it back. And then I had to pay like the remaining balance before I started classes. Did not have the remaining balance. I did not, like, I had options, of course. I could have taken out a loan, I could have borrowed it. So I wouldn't, like, y'all. So let me see. Okay, I think the next day or the same day, something, I don't know. I'm off with my timing, but I got an email. And my credit card had given me an increase. It was like $3,000 or something like that. Giving me an increase. Mind you, I wasn't like using it because I like to use my credit card for emergencies. Wasn't using it. I typically get my increases at the end of the year, never in the middle of the year, never in the summertime. I'm pretty sure I just burst out in tears. Like, I just cried because I was like, this has to be God. This is God. Like, got an increase, was able to pay off the remaining balance for the summer because I did not have any financial aid due to me being on academic probation. So I had like, I was just like, how am I going to pay for this? I want to finish school. At this point, it's like clear to me that this is what I should continue to do. Oh yeah, so I know that I said that I wanted to leave, and then after speaking with my director and like praying about it, I realized that, you know, I think I should continue with this program, and I'm so glad that out of this. If God is in it and He wants you to go through with it, if it's in His will, if it is destined for you, He will make a way, He will provide. Like, and that's just facts. Like, He will provide, and He will prepare you so that you can, you know, do whatever it is that you need to do. It is not by coincidence. It is not by luck. It is pure blessings and grace that I was able to finish my program with a 3.5. Yay! And graduate. And I retook the class the following fall semester, got an A. That was actually a 4.0 semester. got all A's in my classes. And from there, that point, that was the first ever F I received and the last F I received. And I was like, I got my acts together after that. I was like, oh no, this would never happen again. And I believed it, like, this will never happen again. But that whole, like, if I would have stopped at that, I would have never graduated. I would have never learned to continue in other places, like to push through in other places and endure in other places. Because when something happens in one area of your life, you learn how to apply that situation in other areas in your life. And if I would have just given up and be like, you know what, well, this is not meant to be, let me just stop here, throw my hands up, that would have, like, I think it would have affected other areas in my life. That's just how I see things. And I'm so glad that I did not stop. I did not quit. And I made it to the finish line. Like that, my graduation was 10 times greater because I was just thinking about the stuff that I went through those 2 years in the program. But yeah, I just wanted to come on here and share my story and just share for those of you who are watching. And maybe you're in the same position. Maybe you are like, I don't know how this is going to work out. It may not make sense to you. Just continue to push through and endure. Just know that if God is in it, if he's in it, not if this is something you've come up with or something someone else has created, but if this is something that he's created for you, he will provide and you'll be good. You'll be fine. And yeah, so thanks for tuning in. Hopefully I'll be able to share, well, not hopefully, I will be able to share another video similar to this soon, so stay tuned. I also left out that I was the youngest in my family to graduate with a master's degree, so it was just a lot of good that came out of this entire situation. And I look back, and 2 years ago, I didn't really understand, really grasp it then, but now I do. And sometimes it doesn't take 2 years for some people. But I just see things in a different light. My faith has increased tremendously because I've seen the work of God in my life as well as in those around me in their lives. And it's just different when you get to experience God's grace and his glory. And yeah, this situation was like, wow, like, okay, God. And I instantly went to worrying, which most people would do. But like I said, if God is in it, if he wants you to do it, if it's in his will, best believe he will provide. Like, you cast your worries unto him, cast your anxieties, your fears, your uncertainties, everything, and it will work out. Like, it may not make sense. You may not have a plan. Just remember, our thinking is not God's thinking and our ways are not his ways. So that right there should just make you be like, okay, what I think in my mind is probably completely opposite of what God is thinking. So I just wanted to share that.